Hey guys, welcome to Growing Celestially, and this is the last episode of the month, but it's also going to be the last episode before I take a break for April. I have a lot of new things brewing, and I kind of just want to take a little time to get it ready. Plus, I already pre-planned this break, but I recently had some new additions into my life, not kids or nothing like that, thank God, but just some new things that I'm doing. And I need to make space for those as well. But don't worry. I even though I'm taking a break in April, I'm gonna come back and drop a really special episode. Um yeah, I don't want to get too many details away. So I'm just gonna be quiet about it. But just know it's gonna be a special episode. Um but yeah, there is a few things I wanted to talk about though from everything that I've learned from this process of the first 3 months of doing this and the first, I don't know, time just releasing episodes consistently. Um, so yeah, let's get into that. It's so interesting to me that as soon as I started this podcast, everybody continuously asks me what it's about. And I could not formulate it in like a few words. I couldn't really just say, this is what it is, this what it is, this what it is. And even to this day, it's still a little hard. Um, Honestly, I would probably just say it's a podcast about the human experience and how incorporating different levels of spirituality into it. But even that's just one aspect of it. I think it's just a podcast about the human experience, told from my point of view. Um, yeah, I think that's it. Early on, I did have a friend who asked me, she listened to the first episode and she wanted to help me kind of cultivate the ideal more. I don't think the first episode was this foot that I really wanted to step out on, but it just so happened to be the foot that I stepped out on. And she was like, so I hear you talking about these things and stuff like that, but you really didn't give me the audience any insight into why you're qualified to talk about these things, like what is going to be your perspective. There wasn't a real introduction, and what makes you qualified to talk about these things like that. Just really trying to pick my brain to see if I can come up with something. And I had to sit on that for a while, because it just wasn't something that immediately came to me as an answer. It's like, girl, I just want to talk. But I think now I can fully say that I think the things that make me great for this is, for one, I want to do it. And if you want to do a podcast, you still should do it, even if nobody listens. I mean, my viewership at the moment is quite light, but and I love you all for whoever tunes in every week. I really appreciate it. Y'all are beautiful people. Um, I don't even know who you are, to be very honest. So, if you got my contact, text me and let me know you listen every week. But no, I think what really qualifies me to talk about this is, for one, like I said, I love to talk. Two, um, I I feel like I have a beautiful, interesting perspective on life. Um, you know, I'm black, I'm queer, I'm a femme, I'm transitioning. Um, I've lived in so many different parts of Texas that I've experienced incredibly different parts of life. Um, I think, and then I grew up, from I grew up in a fairly nice place for a while, and then I switched to like a very bad place, and I switched to the country. Like it was, I've seen a lot, I've done a lot, and I've encountered so many people, and I've absorbed so much of others imparting on me. So I think all of that culminates into like I don't know, me being my own interesting creature that doesn't still has a hard time with like quote unquote proper English language and uh still has a hard time expressing themselves sometimes. Um and just because I have so much, I think it's good that like for me personally, I love sharing it. I love like getting out various deals that I've been taught and like um just having stream of thoughts like this is currently. I didn't even script this. But I really just wanted to talk about those different things on why I think I'm ready for it. I think honestly, as as a queer black femme that's transitioning, um, there's not. I have, and don't get me wrong, I have my aspects where I have privilege too. You know, I mean, being tall to a certain degree is a privilege. Being light skinned is a privilege. Uh, being attractive is a privilege. For some reason, I think the fact that my personality is so, I would say enticing, interesting, charismatic is a privilege to a certain degree. All these things kind of help me alleviate the fact that like I'm black, I'm queer, I'm trans. Like those are I feel that every time I walk into a room or every time I'm just existing, I feel like eyes looking on me and saying like this is not normal. This is different. So when I have to like almost perform in a certain way or present in a certain way to make people really appreciate me or not feel intimidated by me or not be angry at me, they can like kind of have to like rewrite their mind into thinking, oh, this is not somebody who's terrifying or anything like that. They deserve to be here. They don't hurt them or anything like that. So, but still, I think I understand very deeply the the pains that many people can have when it comes to like you know, in the pursuit of love, and not feeling like you can find anybody. Oh, literally me. In the pursuit of dreams and not feeling like you can make it. Literally me. In shit, the pursuit of just trying to pay your bills every day and I feel like you can make it. Literally me. Like I think and maybe I don't know. I don't think everybody experiences all of those things together. I mean, in the places that I am blessed, I have yet to find ways to make them bless other aspects of my life, if that makes sense. Like, I love doing music. I love drawing. I love doing art. I love all these other things, but none of those creative outlets that I love doing and that I'm good at I haven't been able to not monopolize yet, and that's what I'm working on this year. But I haven't been able to really make money off of them. Like I bought all these art supplies. I think I might have just broken even with my art. Uh, with one painting that I sold. Just because, well, I spent about $200 on painting supplies. Oh no, I spent way more. I've spent like maybe 500. I haven't broken even yet. I gotta sell like 2, 3 more paintings. But and that's part of the beauty of it is just like I did it because I wanted to and I wanted to create more and I knew that it could possibly bring me money in. I've had family member buy a painting from me, but I still haven't found a way to really monopolize on it. That's something I'm gonna work on. And then when it comes to music, oh, the money that I've sank into that and the time I sank into that, it's not going to pay me back monetarily for at least at least another 2 years, possibly. Just because of so much time that I've already put in it and so much money that I've already put into it, it would take some cash. It would take a good guap, take a single going all the way to the radio, or something like that, for me to actually feel like, all right, All right. This is worth continuing doing, monetarily. But I would say, and then podcasting, people say they really like my voice, and I've put a lot of time into this. And I will also say to that all three of those things, while it might not necessarily pay me back monetarily, I think it fulfills me. Uh, and the few people that it has touched and do touch, they really enjoy it. They love it. They find some value in it, and I love giving that to others. I could create these podcasts for myself and release them and not tell anybody about it. And, I just know that I have a podcast for me. But I kind of want people to listen because I feel like I'm providing keys or gems in a fun, light, energetic way a lot of times. Like my podcast episode about the zodiac and, the different houses, because I'm so what's it called? Not ambitious. I'm so passionate about teaching people about the zodiac and how like it has different layers and how it has um a whole cycle and like what does it mean, and like you have different houses, and then you have a sun, and then you have a moon, and then you have a da and then all those things. Everybody has all the planets. Then where are they? Where were they when you were born? Like what energy were they given? So, it's just, I don't know. It's just that type of stuff for me really is I think the driving force for why I do this podcast. Um yeah. And I hope you guys really enjoy it. I do put a lot of love into it. I'll come with like a list of things I want to talk about. I'll I don't know. It's so funny. Like I always get a little nervous before I record because I'm like, I wonder if I'm gonna say the right stuff. I hope I'm saying something that like somebody it resonates with somebody and that they can use it. Shit. If you just want to use this podcast as something to listen to throughout the day and not even really pay attention, I honestly, I don't care. Like that's what you want to do with it. I just wanted to bless whoever life it touches. But yeah. So, on slightly different topics, I turned 24. So I'm about to say 21. That was 3 years ago. I turned 24 and a bitch is old. I even feel it in my body, y'all. Like, I know y'all be like, oh, you're so young. 24 is so young. You're a baby. I get it. I know that I'm that old and I know my body ain't really breaking down on me. But I didn't realize how it's a combination for me. And this is something that like I don't think most people I think will understand. And I'm not even 100% sure if this is the case, but I'm pretty sure it's the case. Um so I've always had like lower back problems to a certain degree. Not super bad, but just like I think I messed it up working at one of my first jobs where they were asking me to do like a lot of manual labor, and I wasn't properly trained on how to like squat and all the other stuff. So squat lift or whatever. So, I was bending over and lifting and, just wearing and tearing. But at that time, I had more hormones. I was a lot stronger and things like that. I think it, my back problems didn't start getting bad until I started taking hormones. And it's literally been terrible ever since. Like my sciatic nerve is always being triggered these days. And I'm like, oh fuck, I'm tired of dealing with this. Like you walk and then you have like this weird kind of like numbness in your leg or whatever when you're walking and doing things, and like you get scared because you're like, bitch, my leg don't need to be feeling like this. Or when you bend over, it's like I don't want to say flames, but just like a lot of like tension, and you're like, damn, like, what's going on with my lower back? And you you always have these questions about like your lower back. You sit too long, or you sit the wrong way, lower back, and then you're sciatic and everything. Um, and it's like I d- I didn't I didn't really take into account too that starting my hormones actually meant that bitch, you are gonna have to go to the gym because I my frame is just, while it's not big, I'm not big by anybody's means. I don't have I've lost a lot of muscle mass. So I feel like my body, and this is me theorizing, but from what I've read online and things like that, I feel like my body is overcompensating in ways for the muscle I don't have anymore. So more tension is being put in certain places because I don't have muscles to really like hold me up the same way, to offset it. Um And then I'm always tired when I start doing physical activity. I burn out really fast because, well, for one, I don't do much physical activity, but with two, I know it's the hormones. I remember when I first took them and I would try to run upstairs. I was like, God damn, I don't know why I feel like this. I was like, why do I feel so fucking tired? Like I don't have no stamina at all. Before I was doing hormones, I would run, do all types of shit. Like my body, I guess it was just the boy shit. And that's why I was like, oh, I see why women are always like, look, I'm fucking tired. I can't be doing all that. I ain't gonna run up and down. Or, it's harder for them to be active because you just literally biologically set up in a way to where it might be more difficult. I don't know if every woman, if estrogen has this effect on every human being, but I know it has this effect on me, and I'm still. I think I've acclimated to it to a certain degree, but now that I know what is it causing me and things like that, I need to start going to the gym, stuff like that. So now I have to carve that part of my life out. So when I figure that out, I'll keep y'all updated on my lower back. But carving that out is not going to be easy because this year is so busy. And I've told myself, I always tell myself my birthday doesn't. I mean, my year doesn't start to my birthday. My new year doesn't start to my birthday. So up until my birthday, I was saying 2020 instead of 2021. Now I say 2021 more consistently. Uh, just because I feel like my birthday is like the marker for me to say this is a new year, a new chapter. Instead of the year, like girl, I don't give a fuck that it's 2021 to everybody else. Like, sure, that's the year, but it doesn't. I didn't turn a new year. The world turned the new year. I'm turning a new year. I'm turning 25 March 6th next year. So that's when it'll be 2022. In my head, all right, it just works for me like that. But I um I just wanted this year to be about expansion and growth and like not stopping. So I've been growing in every aspect of my life so far. My interpersonal relationships have been really evolving. I'm really analyzing the dynamic I have in like some of my friendships and realizing what I don't like. And you know, honestly, there's some things that I realize that actually I don't like and actually I don't need to do. And I need to be more protective in this way. And I need to be more I need to be more discerning in this way, and I need to not do this. And actually I've been talking with my therapist about like just uh different things. We It's a long topic, but we do this thing called uh special, and it's the seven aspects of life. And one of the aspects is associates. And like I'm actually gonna go and type up like a report on myself for the year. And I'm gonna start it now, but just type a report on myself and be like, these are all my associates that I feel like I'm close to. These are people I want to get close to and why I want to get close to them. And then these are like, and it might seem totally ridiculous to uh kind of map out your life like that and like constantly check in with yourself. But honestly, I think it's probably one of the more healthier things you can do because I can, while I'm typing it, I can analyze myself. But when I go back and reread it and be like, what was I needing in that moment to want to connect with this person so badly? You know what I'm saying? What was I going to get out of them? And did I really need to get that out of them? And or could I got it from somebody else? Or was that really what I wanted out of them? So perfect example. There's this, this is so funny to me, but I can talk about it because nobody knows him. There's this boy I like, and I really, well, I still think he's very attractive, and he's really sweet, and I'm not probably not gonna take my eyes off him. Uh, but you know, I I got it in my head that like I needed to progress somewhere, and so I was like, okay, well, I feel like I was like, well, the universe trying to teach me something. I need to go after what I want and, let them know that I like them or something like that. It doesn't even have to even be anything. Like I was telling myself, it doesn't really have to come into anything, nothing like that. I'm not even expecting it to be anything because 9 times out of 10 they hit you with, "Oh, that's sweet, that's nice, but I got a girlfriend." I'm like, "Oh, girl, I'm tired of her, tired of the girlfriend. Get her away from me." But no, so I have to, I thought that's something I was being challenged on. It's like a level of growth. It's like, being confident, saying how you feel. And while that's applicable and could be true, I don't think that's what I was trying to be taught in that. What I was supposed to be taught in that lesson. Uh, but I had it in my head that I needed to say this and things like that. So I'm racking my brain on how to say this, and like I'm over here rehearsing it. I'm literally writing down a script to make sure that like I say everything I need to say to make sure that he feels comfortable, so I feel comfortable, so it's not awkward. So even if nothing happens, like then I like asked a couple friends, and I was like, oh, da 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 da. I fucking hate that I did all that, and I'm just waiting for the day. I'm like at this point, I'm good, but I'm not gonna try to pursue it anymore. But I'm just waiting for the day that somebody finds out. I mean, that he finds out, and then everybody, and then he comes and confronts me about it, or he brings it up. I'm just like, this is so humiliating. That's exactly how I'm gonna feel because I did all this to be nowhere closer to the goal. And don't get me wrong, it'd be nice if we started talking. But I even told when me and my aunt talked about it, I even told her, I was like, I was like, I realized I wouldn't even know what to do with him. And I say this anytime I like somebody, but it's the truth. I still, and I've even I thought maybe once I have dated before I would just know kind of what to do. And I've dated somebody very recently. And even then, it was very much like, I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? And so with him, if I got him or he asked me out, and now I know why I wouldn't know what to do with him this time. I while I want to expand every aspect of my life, I have to do it smartly. And there's some things I'm prioritizing, like career, like goals, dreams, and things like that. I can't prioritize you in a way that you probably would want to be, Um, not this year, and probably not next year, and probably not the year after that. Which is kind of why. Okay, I'll get to that. But I'm gonna be mad busy. I have other ventures going on. I have a job that I'm at full time. I have a side job as well. I I'm not just managing my own time, but I'm managing other people's time at this point now. Uh Checking in, making sure that they're completing projects and things like that, keeping my day job or whatever, or my main job, the things that go on there in the back of my head to make sure that like when I go back, everything's in order or that I'm performing. So and then, I got art I'm doing, got music I'm doing, I got podcasts I'm doing. So literally it just doesn't stop. And which is also why I built in these breaks every 3 months. Cause April is the first one, and then I think if I'm not mistaken, August would be the second one. So, just giving myself that time to recuperate, uh, plan, get everything in order so I can come back rejuvenated. Um, but I'm just saying all this to say that I think it would be it wouldn't make any sense to try to enter anybody's relationship or try to engage with some or trying to want somebody to engage with you in like a more intimate space or like require that from you. I think if say if, they did say they liked me and they would like to go on a date and then we discussed that, things can go slow and things of that nature. And, we can just get to know each other and hang out and be really good friends. I would be really happy with that. That will really make me smile because it's like there's no pressure here. I can go as slow as I want. We can hang out every now and again. It doesn't have to be all the time, but it's like I don't know. It's just like I get to experience you. I honestly, that's all I want is the experience. It's just tell me what you came for, because I didn't know to make it what you came for. If you haven't heard "Experience" by Victoria Monet, please go to your car, turn up the music to about in my car like 20, 24, 25 is really when it's jamming, especially if I'm on Apple Music. But if I'm on Tidal, I only need 22 because Tidal got more sound quality, I guess, or whatever. But please turn it up and just jam out. It's such a good. I'm all out of love. You give it away. I'm hoping that experience can get you to change. I'm hoping that experience can get you to change. I'm hoping that. Come on, you give it away. I'm hoping that experience can get you to change. I just love that song. Like, it's just and it's a cute song. Like, it's really infectious. But that's how like I feel when I like somebody. Well, not the lyrics of the song, but the feeling of the song and the sound of the song and the groove of the song. When I like somebody, I just want the experience. I just want to be like, let's go out, let's hang out. Let me get to like know you and absorb your energy. Uh, but I forget that I'm like that, and I forget that I need to. And this is the bad part about me. And see, this is why I say the signs are important because Aquarius moon means I'm detached emotionally. And that means I'm detached emotionally from myself. So I always forget, what I really want. And then I start applying more like what I think I want or I look at the surface of the emotion. I don't spend time really interrogating it and making sure that like, okay, is this how you really feel? Is this what you want? Because if I would have reminded myself, you really don't want to date. You have a lot going on right now, but you would like to spend time with him. You would find a that would be I think I could probably maneuver the words better to be like, let's hang out or something like that. Or I can at least get the Instagram, see if they're doing something, and then hit them up and be like, without me, you know what I'm saying? All right, just find a reason for you to hang out or whatever. Just so you can experience them more in like a more, in a whatever. So but I'm not thinking like that. I'm just thinking I just I just get disconnected from myself or whatever in a way. Uh and then I start operating on something that's not really what I want. So and I've done that recently. So I don't know. I think I think that's something that I need to work on, but I can see a lot of people probably needing that too. A lot of us end up in relationships we don't want to be in, or we end up in friendships to a certain degree that we don't want to be in because we really didn't analyze like why are we here? What are we doing here? What is this supposed to serve? Like you have to remember, uh, it is no fault for trying to expand something. Again, like I said, we're being expansive, but you have to recognize those red flags and you have to like get solid in yourself and also being very honest with yourself and others. Uh, if people are doing things that are making you uncomfortable, you need to be able to tell them that, and you need to be able to look in yourself and be like, okay, because I thought for me that maybe it was just a challenge for me to grow, but that's just while, in some ways it could have been, but in a lot of ways it was not really a challenge for me to grow. It wasn't compatible energy in that regard. And maybe I could have reserved that part of myself for people that was more understanding, or for a situation that would be more uh permissible with some of those things. But you live and you learn. So I know moving forward, that's why I'm doing the associates tab. I'm also doing one for everything too. I think it's just good to take inventory. I always listen to the friend zone, and they don't talk about it as much now, but in their earlier episodes, they always talked about taking inventory of yourself. And you just you got to take inventory of how your body feels. I'm doing that now. I'm like really paying attention to myself, taking inventory of the friendships I've kept, the relationships, the wants and needs that I have. I'm taking inventory of pretty much everything. Uh, Professional, spirituality. Actually, I'm starting to read these books. I have 3 books that I want to read interchangeably. I don't know if it's better to read one book at once, but I feel like my spirit might need different things, and I'm not going to finish some of these books in one sitting. Very sorry. They're deep, emotional, or they are challenging in a way that like helps me grow. So I don't want to try to read that in one sitting. So I'm definitely gonna break the shit up and read it and read amongst each other, because my soul needs different things at different times. Period. Speaking of, I'm probably gonna bring a book to work, and instead of eat lunch, I'll read. I'll feed my soul instead of feeding my body, or whatever the fuck. But yeah. So I don't know. But I this is something that I know I jumped away from this point a little bit, but it's something I really wanted to say. I talked to my aunt, and we talked about the different things that I need and stuff like that. And she was like, "Look, if you need somebody to just, if you want intimacy, um, and there's for me, there's 2 parts of intimacy. Well, there's a lot of parts of intimacy, but the ones that I think I need at the moment is, sexual intimacy, and then also emotional intimacy. 2 different things. They can be joined together, but there's usually a partner. And right now, you can't have a. This is something that me and her broke down. Right now, you can't have a partner, so you have to divide those things up. And you have to find somebody who is comfortable being in that one spot and not moving out of that spot. Uh, so you need somebody who you can like. That's why I said the experience, like getting to know somebody, building like a love of care and affection for somebody, and like holding on to it is nice. And actually, I know I have a friend that I have some emotional intimacy with. Um, Again, not even like a relationship or anything like that, but just some really deep emotional intimacy. And I also have other friends too that I have emotional intimacy as well. Uh, and then I have well, now I just got to find the sexual partner, intimacy part. And I think this is real. People, we all need our things, and honestly, trying to combine them or mix them up is where we get muddied at. If you know that's all he's good for, or that's all she's good for, or if that's all you want, or all you need that person for, it's a fair exchange, and you shouldn't think of it as using, and you shouldn't have to really build it. As long as you're communicating and saying, hey, are you still comfortable with this just being this? They say yes, you have the okay to move forward, at least in my eyes. Now, if somebody wants to tell me how that's unethical, yeah, I'm down to hear it. But to me, that's how it should work. You shouldn't have to feel like, oh, you shouldn't have to feel like you owe somebody something when it's a fair exchange of things. Especially if you asked and they've told you that they want similar things, then yeah. But no, now I'm doing the work to really build out my friendships and stuff, and like, well, not my friendships, but my needs. So, and looking to who can satisfy those needs. Like, now I'm really gonna sink into, and I've always had this thing where like I choose certain people to share certain things with, but now I'm gonna be more specific and say when I need a certain experience, I won't go to this person because they won't give it to me. I need this experience because I want to feel like this afterwards or during. So I'm going to this person. And, you just have to match your needs and the things that you want to express with the people that are in your life. I feel like that would bring a lot less friction. Yes. I don't know. That's just something that I'm learning. This is all stuff that I'm learning. I'm taking a month off and I kind of just want to share where I'm at now and share where I want to go uh moving forward. But I think I've talked enough. I know you guys are gonna miss me, but tune into the socials, my Instagram and stuff like that. I'll be posting highlight reels of past episodes, so like little funny blurbs and stuff like that. So to remind you of like, okay, this nigga really be tripping. But yeah, I I love you guys. I really appreciate you guys listening to me. I hope this makes sense to y'all. I hope that you can gain something from this. I really feel like it could be useful in your life. Just hearing somebody else trying to figure it out. And yeah, I'll see y'all later.